Okay, coaching and mentoring. It's our topic, and your presenter is Esther Kerebi. So we start first of all by defining the terms. We have to know what is coaching and what is mentoring. These two terms are quite similar, so I'm going to actually handle this concurrently, understand what coaching is, will also understand what mentoring is. Now, coaching, in definition, I want to define it this way, that coaching is the process of equipping people with the tools, knowledge, and opportunities they need to fully develop themselves to be effective in their commitment to themselves and to the company and at workplace. I'm trying to repeat again what coaching means. It is the process of equipping people with the tools, knowledge, and opportunities they need to fully develop themselves to be effective in their commitment to themselves, to the company, and at work. So we agree that the process of equipping people with knowledge at workplace so that they can know where they're headed to is what we call coaching. So when we try to look at coaching, specifically, it is performance driven. You cannot just do coaching haphazardly. It is focused on, at the end of it all, it's focused on checking whether performance has improved. So in this way, the professional status of the one who's being coached is called a coachee. So I also define a coachee, the meaning. Let me start with a career coach before I go to a coachee. A career coach is someone who can upskill and train in specific development areas. A career coach is someone who can upskill you and train you in specific development areas. Get together?
Yes.
So next is the coachee, because these are the terms that I'll be using as we go through this session. A coachee is a person who receives training from a coach. A coachee is a person who receives training from a coach. Next, mentoring, because our key terms here are coaching and mentoring. I define it. So mentoring is an employee training system under which a senior or more experienced individual is assigned to act as an advisor or a counselor or a guide to a junior trainee. So in simple terms, I'm saying this, that mentoring is a condition or a status whereby an employee who's more experienced is assigned an employee who's less experienced, and in this way, they guide them, they counsel them, and it is like now the person who's coached, whom we are going to call a mentee, is not coached, who's being mentored, whom we are calling now a mentee, follows the footsteps of the mentor. Now, I've already been mentioning mentor, so let me define who a mentor is. So a mentor is someone who teaches or gives help. Someone who teaches or gives help and advice to a less experienced person. So the person who mentors the other is the one that we call a mentor. What about a mentee? Sometimes others use mentoree and others use protege. So protege, I spell it Protege. Protege. Protege is the same as mentoree and is the same as mentee. This is the person who is being trained by the mentor. This is the person who's being trained by the mentor. Then in mentorship and coaching, within this coaching and mentorship, we interact with terms like teaching, counseling, and learning. So we interact with teaching, counseling, and learning. So we use methods of teaching, counseling, and learning. So let me define them. So teaching is conducted by a teacher. So a teacher is an expert who has knowledge. So the expert who has knowledge is going to impart knowledge to an individual who's less knowledgeable. So the process of imparting knowledge from an individual who's more knowledgeable to one who's less knowledgeable or less skilled, we call that one teaching. And teaching is actually conducted by a teacher, and the teachers usually have their students. So you may find that at workplace, you need someone to teach you and you become the student. Then within also coaching and mentorship, we also have counseling. So counseling is actually a helping profession whereby the person who's being counseled, the one that we call now a client, is in a problem and cannot be able to solve the problem, therefore requires someone who will help. Someone who will help the person in a problem to get out of the problem. So it is actually a helping profession whereby others are helped to learn and to discover ways through which they can get themselves out of problems. You see, many times I've also mentioned learning. So let me define it, what learning is. So learning takes place whenever there's a teacher-student relationship or coach and coachee relationship or mentor and mentee relationship. Therefore, because of this relationship, there is knowledge that is being transferred from the more knowledgeable person to the less knowledgeable person, whether it is through teaching, whether it is through coaching, whether it is through counseling. And in this way, once information now is delivered to the person who was less knowledgeable, we say that learning has taken place. So that is actually my introductory part so that I can be able now to move on to the next part. And the next part will be coaching. So it will be coaching. Yes, coaching. Now, there are two specific ways of coaching your clients. One is one-on-one coaching, and the other one is group coaching. We have one-on-one coaching, and we also have group coaching. So let me start with what happens in one-on-one coaching. Now that already I had explained what coaching is by saying that in the coaching process, there is learning that takes place. And the key word here is that when we'll want to differentiate between coaching and mentorship or mentoring, in coaching, it is more of performance related. Like after you have been coached, you have to perform. You see, even the football players, they usually need coaches. And we expect that one, that has gone through a coach or has interacted with a coach, at the end of it all, we expect them to score goals. So the question that we ask ourselves before we really get into mentorship, because my first part is coaching, next is mentorship, and then I'll try at the end of it all to try and compare the difference, the similarities and the differences. And then eventually you realize that these two go hand in hand. So what is this one-on-one coaching? So one-on-one coaching is whereby the coaches, the coaches, sometimes back coaches believed that at the moment they got like their clients and they just go through with the clients in their teaching programs or coaching programs, the clients just learn, but that is not the thing. So the thing is that in coaching, one-on-one is whereby a coach is actually assigned a coachee, and they can interact, they can meet, or they can even meet whichever way, whether it is even online or virtual. So in this way, you'll see one person who's a coach and the other one who's a coachee. They work together by being the coachee being trained day in, day out on the specific skill or knowledge that they require. So at the end of it, all this one coach will have trained the coachee, and at the end of it all, the coachee will have understood the content that they were required to understand, and eventually they will be able to act the same way as the coach has trained them. Then we also have group coaching, whereby you find that a group of people come, those are coaches, and then we can have many or even one coach training them. So they coach them, they take them through sessions, they can be meeting, the coach can demonstrate, they can deliver content through spoken or demonstration or what we call modeling. And at the end of it all, even if there was one coach, you find that the group has been trained. So these are the two ways that sometimes an organization can use to coach their clients. The types of coaching programs. So there are so many, by the way, there are so many, and I didn't want to actually leave any out. So I've listed so many, they are beyond 7, they are like 15 or beyond 15, and you can see them. You have what we call humanist coaching. We have humanist coaching. We also have adult development coaching. We also have cognitive coaching, positive psychology model for coaching. We also have another type of coaching that is systemic coaching. Lydia, you can also continue. Please read for me through number 7. Are we together, Lydia?
We're at number 7.
Yes, Esther.
Yes, I want you
to continue.
The types of coaching. You can continue from number 7.
Esther, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, Lydia. Okay, someone else who can help.
There's Queen, there's Azel, and there is John.
Lydia maybe has some network.
Queen, are you able to hear us?
Axel? We are trying to find out whether we are together. Can you hear us?
I doubt. Are you able to hear us, guys?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. Let's continue from point 7, Queen.
We in 7th there's adaptive coaching, personal development coaching, life coaching, wellness coaching, confidence coaching, personal empowering coaching, business coaching, career transition coaching, executive coaching, relationship coaching, sales coaching, and performance coaching.
Good point. Thank you. So these are the many types as per the various textbooks or the references that we got. Now, we have all these types, and sometimes they may overlap because it depends on which order and which classification that we are using. Now, when I talk about humanist coaching, I want to explain what humanist coaching is. It is actually where you get a coach to help the leaders to reach their full potential. Like you have a CEO who's doing well in terms of work, they're excelling, but then you realize that there is a specific skill or knowledge that they require so that they can really reach their full potential. So they'll be supported in this area. For example, one has a very good leadership skills, but then they are not able to, maybe they don't have full knowledge on, let me call it knowledge on technology. So they can be upskilled by being coached. So this one, we call it humanist coaching, whereby you are trying to coach leaders so that they can reach their full potential. And this one, we call it like help them to get to their self-actualization point. And then number two, we also have what we call adult development coaching. So the adult development coaching is whereby you see the term adult people are growing professionally and they are at various levels. You find that the leader, it means that the coach is working to figure out where the leader is in his or her developmental stage. So in this way, the coach may realize that the leader has not reached their full potential or full understanding or maturity in terms of work. So in this case, they may be facing some ambiguity. There's somewhere that they are lacking or lacking understanding of something. So in this way, the coach gives therapy sessions in a way that they can also help any employee at any level to reach maturity in terms of workplace. So it doesn't really has to do with the ages of the employees. It is helping them to reach their full, maturity, like have a full knowledge of what they are practicing. Then we also have cognitive coaching. Cognitive coaching is that, you see, cognitive is mental. So like you look into their mental abilities, and this one is actually centered around addressing the maladaptive thoughts. Like for a leader to be successful, they need to be fully knowledgeable in terms of their mental abilities. So a leader may come to face some challenges at their workplace and they become non-productive simply because of their negative we call it cognitive thinking. So a coach will realize this and say that all I have to change here, it is the mindset of this person, and in this way they'll be holistic. And this is where even counselors actually really help. So you change the thinking way of someone, and this way they are at peace and they can produce maximally. We also have positive psychology model coaching. So a positive psychology model coaching is whereby we also, it is highly related with the mindset, changing the mindset and psychology, the psychology of a person. You know, the reasoning way, the way someone reasons. So the way someone reasons may actually affect the way they are going to work. And psychology, you know, has to do with behavior change. So in this way, you really try to help the employees or whoever that is requires coaching. And you see, I'm mentioning counseling a lot in coaching, like it is change of mindset. It is also change of their behavior, the behavior of the people who are going through coaching. So the thought here is that the coach would help the leader to expand the existing strengths in terms of emotions, in terms of creating happiness and peace at their workplace. We also have what we call systemic coaching. So in systemic coaching, it is like the coachee is being helped to focus on looking at patterns of performance, trying to see a way to avoid ways of disrupting the right patterns, but you can disrupt the wrong patterns. So this one brings about changes. You know, in leadership, there is what we call change management. So this systemic coaching really applies here, whereby it has to do with like changing patterns that may be wrong, but maintaining the right patterns. So how to go about bringing change in the organization. We also have goal-oriented coaching, self-explanatory, that you find that there are people in the organization, they are working, but there is a way they are deviating from the main goal or the main agenda. So in this way, you sit down and try to coach them in a way that they may focus on the goal, not their personal views. So the leaders regulate and direct their interpersonal and personal resources to better attain more goals. Whenever we talk about goals, we keep on mentioning our goals must be SMART. They may be focused. They should be measurable. Then we also have what we call adaptive coaching. This is training or guidance in terms by the coach, whereby there is a situation where you have to adapt. I'm trying to really see a situation here whereby we are supposed to adapt to changes of COVID-19. We said we work from home. Now the world is starting to go back to work. Some are still maintaining working from home. So in this way, we need to be coached on how to adapt to changes. Then we also have what we call personal development coaching. This could be what we are going through now. Like you feel that you are not so skilled in some area and you want to learn. So you want to develop yourself personally by going back to school or receiving some coaching or guidance on some issues or topics that you don't understand. So that is personal development coaching. Then we also have what I call life coaching. So a life coach, hands down, the hottest niche, I can say, in coaching, and for a good reason. Actually, a life coach is a catalyst for the clients. The life coach is based or focused on like bringing about total changes. Like we can say, in football, maybe you need a life coach so that at the end of it all, you turn your behavior, your actions, your knowledge, and you show out your experiences, trying to imitate the person who's coaching you. So if you want to learn swimming, you need a life coach. And then we also have wellness coaching, whereby this is about the topic now, like healthcare professional and fitness professional guiding you or teaching you on how to go about your wellness or your health, how to sustain it. We also have confidence coaching, whereby we know that there are people who are not confident. You can make it, but you fear. So all you need is someone to motivate us. Later on, we'll learn that in coaching, a coach should be a cheerleader. So this person, once they are our cheerleaders, they boost confidence in in their coaches. Then we also have personal empowerment coaching. It is quite similar to personal development coaching, so that you can empower yourself even financially or whichever way. We also have business coaching. You don't have the entrepreneurial skills, so you are looking for someone to coach you on how to spend your money, on how to invest and do other things. We have career transition coaching. You know this because we have gone through the school system. You are bright, yes, but you exactly don't know where you are headed to, what you are good at. So this is the person who will study you keenly and say that this one is good in science, so can do pharmacy, or this one is good in music, so can even become a musician. So they coach you. We also have what we call relationship coaching. Relationships are quite, I can say they are quite diverse. They are quite diverse. Employee to employee relationship, employee to your boss relationship, relationships at home, relationships at workplace. So this person kind of will even counsel you on how, even about matching, even at the level of matching or pairing. A coach and a coachee, we need information and knowledge on how to go about it. So about relationships. And then we have sales also coaching. We also have performance coaching. So when we talk about sales coaching, the other part, other than point number 7, the others are more focused on the topics of coaching, or which areas of coaching that you are on. So it's like business, the sales coaching. We also have performance coaching, and we have the human, we talked about humanist coaching, whereby we said that someone helps someone to reach their full potential. And then, other than these are the various types of coaching programs. So as a manager in your organization, you need to actually know, now in my organization, which kind of coaching may I need? Because don't just say that I'm going to get a coach who will take us through all that. No, there is a place whereby you have a weakness, because coaching is a bit different from mentorship, whereby you may follow someone's life, but in coaching, it is a specific area whereby you have some challenge and you're being helped. So where actually or specifically do you have this challenge for the sake of being helped? So next, I want us to move on to the process of coaching. How do you start it? You want to start a program of coaching. So which are the steps of coaching? So we can have now John take us through the list of the steps that we have for coaching. And John, you can see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay,
All right.
kindly.
The first step is to analyze, prepare, conduct, document, and then finance follow-up.
Yes. So thank you, John. So these are the various steps that we go through in the process of coaching: analyze, prepare, conduct, document, and then follow up. Now, to begin with, number 1, in the coach has to analyze. So try to analyze the level of performance of the employees. You have to have the data. Yes, these are the people at workplace. They are not producing how well explained, well understood challenges. So you have to analyze first. And once you realize that these people maybe require career coaching, or they need humanistic coaching, or they need wellness coaching. You have analyzed and really seen that these are the areas, or life coaching, or personal empowerment. You move to the next step where you prepare. How do you prepare? You prepare by looking at identifying the objective, and then you have to plan the sessions, how they'll go, how you'll go about them. And then you also try to see how you are going to pair the coachee and the coach, and try to even identify whether you have those resources that you're going to use. And then other than the resources, any challenges that you're likely to face. So you look at all this. In this way, you are preparing. Then we move on to conduct. Now, we have moved to a level whereby you are going to, the coach has been identified and the coaches are there and the sessions begin. So during these sessions, there is dialogue when you are conducting it. You share perspectives. And in this way, there's communication, so that you know that the employees who are being coached, they are fully engaged, and there is actually what we call, you follow up to actually ensure that there is coaching that is taking place, there is learning that is taking place, there is behavior change that is taking place. After that, document. So you are going to document. That is why, like, almost at the end of a coaching program, there has to be a report. And this report will help to really understand what the coaches have gone through, whether the goals are met, what happened. So you document everything, the timings, or how it happened, what went on, and everything, how it went on, we can say. And then eventually is what we call follow-up. So follow-up, you are going to follow up, trying to see in the process, after the process. After documentation, we said that there's a report. So following up starts with feedback. There's going to be feedback from the coaches. The coach will also give feedback. We are going to see feedback from the program manager, whether even the production has improved, if it's relationship coaching, whether the way people interact between each other has improved. So in this way, we are trying to really understand. You do a follow-up, and then you can, there's a relationship that is being terminated here. And this relationship, it is between the coach and the coachee. So if you had invited a coach to your organization to carry out what we call group coaching, the coach is going to terminate, but may be called at some point to come and do a follow-up and try to see, like, after 1 month, was there a change? So this is what I'm actually calling a follow-up. So very fast, let me also go through mentorship part. Before I can really start to compare mentorship and coaching, let us try to understand what mentorship is, or mentoring. So let us go to mentoring. So mentoring, I've already defined it. And we say that the purpose of workplace mentorship programs for the mentor, mentee, and organization is actually to upskill the mentees, to improve their experiences, so that, like this statement here, the purpose of mentoring is to tap into existing knowledge, skill, and experience of high-performing employees and transfer these skills to newer or less experienced employees in order to advance their career. Now, someone is wondering, then what is this difference now?
Yes.
Now, in mentoring, it is not specific. Like we said, in coaching, it is a certain area whereby you have a challenge. So the coach will come, and as if you are not good in technology, the coach is going to help you. But in mentoring, it is like now the mentor becomes like your role model. And you see like this is going to be like all round skills, experience, like they really influence your life. Therefore, a mentor is like a consultant, is a counselor, and a cheerleader. A mentor is going to be your consultant. The consultant in terms of every time you feel stuck, this mentor is going to guide you. May not come on board at a specific time and leave. No, this is a person that you're going to work with a journey for a very long time. So they are so experienced in your area until you really want to really move that, feel that you want to move into their life.
Yes.
And then we also have mentors being counselors. So a counselor, we said, is a helping profession. So the mentor will always guide you, guidance and counseling. Will also may have answers, may guide you, but may not have really answers to your challenges, and will help you to identify solutions to your challenges, will listen to you, and will work with you. And lastly, your mentor is your cheerleader. As mentioned before that your cheerleader, you know, why do we have friends in the first place? I tend to believe that friends are our cheerleaders. If you interact with people the first time in a group, and after 1 hour or 1 week, you realize that there is this person who comes and tells you, hey, you are looking nice. And the way you even answered that question was so good. And this person appreciates you. They are likely to be your friends. And the people who will always be against you, against what you say, they are not likely to be your friends. So a mentor is your friend. A mentor is your cheerleader. A mentor is the person who will always notice the slightest change in you, positive change in you, and then they celebrate your achievement. You celebrate your achievement together. So that is actually about mentoring. And next, I go to the types of mentoring programs. I mentioned the types of coaching. I also want to mention the types of mentoring, and in the process, please try to see whether they are related. We have traditional one-on-one mentoring, and we have group mentoring. So this time around, maybe we can have Axel read to us through all those types of mentoring programs.
Okay. First one is traditional one-on-one mentoring. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
I can hear you well.
Yes. The first one is traditional one-on-one mentoring. The
Yes,
second is distance mentoring, also known as mentoring, sorry, virtual or online mentoring. Third one is group mentoring. Fourth one, cross-organizational mentoring, also referred to as inter-organizational mentoring. Fifth one, reverse mentoring. Six, anonymous mentoring. Seven, micro mentoring.
very good. You can make a very good student, Axel. So in traditional mentoring, it is the same as the one I mentioned before in coaching, one-on-one mentoring, whereby you'll have an individual mentor, and then there's the mentee, and these people have a relationship where they are going to walk a journey as friends, but in the process, the mentor is going to teach a lot, or the mentee is going to learn a lot, share experiences, skills, and knowledge from the mentor. The distance one is sometimes you have a person like, let's talk about President Obama, though you may not even, it's difficult for one to reach him. So you may have someone far, and this person could be maybe in another country. There's a distance, and especially this now COVID-19 period where people are not really interacting easily, you may have a mentor whereby this person is placed at a distance place. So we can, in this way, the mentor can mentor the mentee through e-mentoring or virtual or online mentoring. Then we also have group mentoring, whereby you'll have one mentor, like maybe in a school setup, talking to very many. When you're in school, maybe you had someone you used to say, huh? As our whole class will want to be like so and so. So at workplace also, we can have one mentor who is mentoring, especially a professional who's mentoring so many people at the same time. We also have what we call cross-organizational mentoring, whereby a mentorship takes place between organizations, assuming your organization is just a business startup that does not have much knowledge. So you may want to learn from another organization. So in this way, you will invite someone. It's kind of benchmarking. Then we also have what we call reverse mentoring. This involves pairing a junior staff member with a senior staff member. And in this case, it is actually the junior staff member imparting knowledge to the senior staff member. So it looks like a reverse. But then this happens whereby you find that there's a junior staff member who's well versed with technology,
Yes.
well versed with maybe diversity, and this way they receive support. And then we also have the anonymous mentoring. You get a mentor and you really do not have the identity, maybe because of security reasons, maybe because of, let me say, privacy. So you may have a mentor, especially when we do the distance or e-mentoring, and you may not know who specifically is doing it, but may be passing information to you and you follow the footsteps. And finally, we have what we call micro-mentoring. This involves creation of short developmental episodes focused on particular topic. So this micro-mentoring, I'm really finding it very close to coaching. Like, it is not all round. It is actually a specific part whereby you have a challenge and you need an expert to come and mentor you. So you call in a mentor. And this is where now micro-mentoring meets coaching. Now, actually, next, this is our first part of our presentation. And before I just give you a break, there's this quote. Now this time round, who's going to read for us? Queen. Queen, are you able to read this quote?
Yeah, yes, I can read.
All right.
If all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail.
I want to think about this. If all you have is a hammer, everything looks like
A nail.
a nail. So this is a quote by Abraham Maslow. You know, if you have gone through college system, you have learned about Abraham Maslow. Abraham Maslow is the psychologist who came up with the hierarchy of needs, that human beings have needs. And these needs are from physiological, and then safety, and love and belonging, and esteem, and eventually you want to reach self-actualization. So Abraham Maslow said this: if in life, the only thing you have is a hammer, every other time you see a problem coming, you just know that one, I'll fix it using what? I'll hit it, you hammer. And then everything you see another problem around, you say, this is a nail, I'll just hammer, I'll hammer. If you have such a kind of leader in your organization, or if you are one, you will be using the same kind of skills to solve different problems. So we should know that even if you have hammer, we need not only hammers, but other instruments too, so that you don't keep on nailing. Are we getting it?
Yes.
So if the only thing you have a hammer, if you have a boss who only has a hammer, every other time they know their solution is
Knocking
someone, yes, You scold them. And the next time there's a problem, the employees have to be fired. So this one will bring about challenges if the only solution you have is one. So think about it as a leader, as a manager. Please, let's think about it. Now, Purity, we are going.
Okay. Okay. This is the assessment, the discussion.
Yes.
All right. We are taking a 10 minutes break. It's already 5:02. That means it's 4:02 in Kigali. So we'll take 10 minutes break until 4:03. During this discussion, during this time, we'll be discussing in Lydia, all of you are seated together, like in the same office.
It's myself and Axel, then Queen and John.
Or are in different, so you and John can discuss, and also Queen and Axel can discuss from the other office. So are there pairing? Yes, Queen.
Actually, it's much easier for me and John because we are seated together.
Oh, all right. So you and John one team, Axel and Lydia another team. Where we'll be discussing other pairings we should avoid. Do you want to explain more on this?
Queen is just getting rid of me.
Yes, let me explain more. In mentorship.
Just hold on a minute, Esther. Axel, you were saying something?
Never mind. It's just Queen that is.
Queen is getting rid of him. He's saying Queen is getting rid of him.
Also.
So now we have two groups.
So, Axel, do you want to be gotten rid of?
Do I have a choice? I don't have a choice. So
it looks like you don't have a choice.
I don't have a choice. It's okay. I'm just joking.
All right. Esther, you can take us what you are expecting from this assessment.
Yes, let me clarify, please. Now, in mentorship and in coaching, you find that in coaching, you are inviting a coach, and the coach is going to meet a coachee or a group of coachees. And you as a manager, you are supposed to pair. There could be many coaches, and you have a group of employees that you want to help in pairing. Now I'm asking, whether it's in mentorship, whether it is in coaching, are there pairings we should avoid? Please think about it and discuss. Now we have given you.
Can you please repeat the explanation again, Esther?
I'm saying this, that in coaching, there is the coach and coachee.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So these are coach and coachee. You are now the manager, the program manager, who is starting a coaching program. And in coaching, you find that these coaches, there are many. So you want to pair the coaches who are your employees, assuming we have 10 coaches, okay?
Yes.
So you pair an employee, it is you to decide, or maybe you are going to involve them, you pair them with their coaches. Or at workplace, you know, these coaches is not a must that they come from outside the organization. They could be coming from even within the organization.
Yeah, true.
And even, yes, and even the mentorship program, it's not a must that you have to be mentored by someone who's outside. Sometimes they're even within. So as you, the program manager, trying to pair groups so that you can have groups of 10. So you are in charge and you have to pair these people, the coaches and coachees, or mentors and mentees. So my question now is, are there pairings we should avoid? Am I clear now?
Yes.
Like which kind of person?
Axel and Queen? And John?
Lydia.
You got
Yes.
it? All right. Okay. Okay, then let's take 10 minutes 10 minutes from now, it will be 4:17. Let's meet back at 4:17. All right.
All right.
How are we doing, guys? Axel,
Yes.
how are we doing?
We're almost done.
Almost. So in another 2 minutes, we should be done.
Yes.
All right.
Mm.
Queen, any progress on your end?
Queen is on the phone with the client.
All right. Is that John?
John
Oh,
also went to the bathroom.
So that team, have they
John
done
went to the
anything?
bathroom. He's coming in a while. John and I guess they are done.
Okay. So we give them 1 minute to join us, then we start.
1 minute. Yeah.
All right.
John, they're not here.
Hi, I'm back.
Okay. So everyone is here now.
The feedback, we give the feedback.
Yes, yes. If you're back now, we can we have two groups. We have Lydia's group and John's group.
Yes.
Okay. Now Lydia's group.
It's me and Lydia, but Lydia is still not here.
Okay.
Then
So it
you
was
can give
Lydia
her one more
and
minute
Axel.
or you can go on.
Just
Yes.
stepped out, but she's coming shortly.
It's okay. We can proceed because of time. Axel, we can start with you.
Yes. All right. So what we had told, okay, what we discussed was that so it's between I have to use both mentors and coaches and coaches and mentees. So
Yes.
mentees and okay. Mentors cannot be paired. What that's what we discussed. That mentors cannot be paired. While mentees can be paired. And coaches. Okay, Lydia is here. coach coach coaches coach the coaches we thought that they can also be paired, same as the coaches, and the coaches can be paired with the 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 trainees, right? The mentees. Okay, those who cannot be paired are coach.
Is that all?
Our mentors. Mentors cannot be paired, and a mentor cannot be paired with a coach. They are the only two we thought of.
Okay, I'm getting you, Axel. So what about John's group? Is that all, Axel?
So far, that's all.
Okay,
John's
except if
group?
you have any. That's what we thought of.
For us, to some extent, we thought it differently.
Yes.
Like, if the way you explained coaching, like we are, first of all, the pairings. There are some pairings that should be avoided. Yes, we said yes, because like you find some people in the group have different skills gap. Now, if they have different skills gap, the coach comes to help that person just try to cover up the other gap that they are having. Now, if we have different skills gap, if we have different gaps, now pairing people with different gaps, I think it won't work. We need to have people with the same gap.
Yes.
Then you have the same mentor to help them build that gap that they are having. But if this has different gap and that different gap, so pairing these people with different problems, I think it won't help. So we found out people with the same problem, skills gap, would have the same mentor, but other with different one have that same mentor that is different also. But mixing the two would not work because they have different problems. So we found out we need to avoid such a kind of groupings because they don't have the same need. So we found out it's not. So that's what we discussed in our team.
All right. I want to thank you, the two groups. And maybe let me just comment that the second group may have understood my question. I'm not saying that the first group didn't understand. It was not cross-checking between mentorship and coaching, but I was just asking that you as a manager, you have the responsibility of grouping people who are supposed to go for a mentorship program or a coaching program. Is there a situation you feel like now these two pairings have done these two group, this mentor and mentee should not work together? So group two, I can say that you have tried to identify a situation whereby you cannot pair people. Like if someone has a gap in knowledge, how to, let me say technology, how to use a Zoom a presentation, how to do that, how to do Skype, and they have knowledge. And the coach that you are bringing in is someone who's coming to coach them on how to carry out that. If already they know, there is no need of pairing them in that way. If you had a different coach or a different gap in this way, you will bring in the person that is required, or the coach or the mentor that is required. And I'm wondering at workplace, I was talking to another group before, whereby they said they had come up in another presentation. They suggested that at workplace, pairing may not, or as an administrator, as a leader, or as a manager, you need to be careful when pairings result or are likely to bring challenges of interpersonal relationships. Someone mentioned that at workplace, there are people who are, instead of now coaching one another, or coaching, a coach coaching them, the coachee, or a mentor mentoring the mentee, you find that another relationship is developing. And that this one, we even call it also in psychology, dual relationship. So in this case, this pairing may not be appropriate. Do you agree with me? Are we together?
Yes.
Yes, we are
Yes,
together.
yes.
So we agree that there are situations that we have to be very careful on how we carry out pairing during the mentorship or a coaching program. Let's try to see what the examiner has to tell us, the marking scheme. Now, someone to read for us, and now this time round who's going to read for us? Lydia, have you read before? Lydia, we have Lydia. Yeah, Lydia, please read for us the answer. Is Lydia back?
I am Lydia.
Yes.
Okay, Esther. The answer reads, do carefully screen
I'd mentioned that one before. It's protege. It is the same as mentee.
Okay. Do carefully screen mentees and mentors to access their level of interest and commitment. Be honest with mentees and mentors about the time and energy required for a successful mentoring partnership. Pair mentees with mentors who can and want to help them reach their learning goals. And having chemistry between mentors and mentees doesn't hurt. Don't develop a program that mandates relationships or that is limited to certain employees, such as high potentials.
Are we somewhere?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, somewhere. So now we move on to our next session. Because of time, we have to capture everything that we had planned. Now, I'm bringing in, now that we understand coaching and mentoring, I'm trying now to bond them together so that as you'll understand, so that at some point at workplace, you don't only say that I only need coaching, I don't want mentors, or you just don't say that I need only mentors, but I do not need the coaches. So quickly, let's go through the factors to consider while working on a coaching or mentoring program. Number one, communicate. Communicate, communicate. So communication, we know that at workplace will always solve very many problems. So you have to communicate to the people who are going to be involved so that in this way they understand what they are likely to go through, so that you do not fail. Someone may take it negative, that I don't want mentoring. And then another one is embed mentoring in your culture. So once you embed as a manager mentoring in your culture, you will realize that at your workplace, people will tend to accept, so that they don't just say that this is something that was brought about by HR, it's a HR initiative. So I'm not, that is the human resource department work. I'm just doing it for the sake of it. So we have to bring it into our culture. Number three, consider this, evaluate at the end of a mentoring or a coaching program, because we have looked at the steps of mentoring and coaching. Please evaluate, and we evaluate through checking on feedback, mainly feedback from the mentees and feedback from the leaders, the administration, and the project managers. And also, we'll also evaluate through the level of production. If production goes high, then we say that the mentoring or the coaching that took place is successful. Next, trying to compare the difference between mentoring and coaching. So, number one, time frame. In coaching, it is short-lived. You can organize a program for 1 year or 6 months, and we terminate the relationships once the learning has taken place. But in mentoring, this is long-term. It can take a year or two, or even lifelong. Like you have your mentor whom you really follow for the past or for the coming 80 years. So it's long-term. Number two, focus. Now in coaching, it is more of performance-driven. You are focusing on improvement in performance, and this has to be measured because you'll start with goals, and at the end of it all, the goals will be measured. But in mentoring, because it's a long term, we'll see gradually the advancement, we'll see the development, we'll see the change of behavior gradually, because it is a holistic approach. And then we have structure. Now, the way coaching and mentoring are structured are different, because now in coaching, traditionally, they are more structured. It can be weekly meetings, monthly meetings, you even have a timetable. But in mentorship, it is a general meeting. Then we also have the expertise. Coaches are hired, and sometimes they're even paid, and they have presentation skills and the leadership and interpersonal communication skills and the sales skills. You remember all those types of coaching, business skills. But then in mentoring, the organization may have just mentors who are have just excelled in a certain area. We may not measure their expertise, but the mentee tries to learn the positive or the strengths of the mentor. So they mainly experience, so the mentee learns from there, is inspired by the mentor's experience. Then we have the agenda. For coaching, the agenda is co-created, like you sit the two of you, even the organization that is hiring, even the manager, the leader will have to coin the agenda. But now in mentoring, you don't have a specific agenda. You just want your lifestyle to change and look like that of the mentor as the mentor supports you. We also have questioning. There's a lot of asking questions and measurements and recognition, and also decision-making and change of behavior and skills in coaching. But in terms of questioning, in mentoring, a mentoring relationship, a mentee may ask questions, not necessarily, but may try to really learn from the mentor. We also have the outcome. Now, outcome from a coaching agreement is specific and measurable. At the end of the coaching that is taking a whole 1 month, you have to measure. We have to see that what the goals achieved. But the outcome of a mentorship relationship can shift over time. There's a time there is less interest on the mentee to the mentor. There's a time that the mentee may change a lot. So because this is a long-term relationship, it may be a bit not very easy to get the outcomes in mentorship. So those are the differences. Why did I bring mentorship and coaching together? It is because other than the differences, there are also similarities. So similarities, now we have Queen taking us through the similarities. Queen, can you hear me?
Queen, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
The similarities between coaching and mentoring.
Yes.
There is trust between both parties, desire to develop, the sharing of knowledge, the discussion of goals, exposure to new ways of thinking, skill development, focus on career progression, the unlocking of someone's potential.
Good. So these are actually self-explanatory, that there's commonality between the two. Both of them, it is trust. there is development, knowledge is shared, all this, and even discussion of goals. So there is a lot of similarity between the two, mentoring and coaching. So next, what are the components to creating a successful coaching mentoring program? You as the program manager, align coaching with your company's core values. Understand what motivates your employees. Keep it collaborative. Know your team dynamics. And as much art as science. So for the coaching or mentoring program to be very effective, these are the components you are going to have at the back of your mind. And they are also self-explanatory. What are the company's core values, not your values? You know, there are some people who just impose their own values on the organization. So keep it interactive, interact with others, motivate, you are the leader. Know the dynamics, know who wants what. Like John said that there are usually dynamics. People are not the same. Who needs coaching in which area? And then as much as science, we say that coaching is there to help everyone succeed. So the effectiveness of coaches is to inspire to listen and have strong relationship with their mentees or their coaches. In that way, the program will be very successful. What are the characteristics of coaching and mentoring? Number one, what are the characteristics of coaching and mentoring? They are short, coaching is, I'm trying actually to compare. I'm trying here to compare coaching and mentoring, but I look at the characteristics. So we are comparing coaching and mentoring. So by looking at the characteristics, coaching is short-term, mentoring is long-term. I explained earlier on. Now, coaching is not voluntary. It may or not be voluntary. You are an employee and you need to be trained. You may not have an option. So it's not a must that it has to be voluntary, but mentorship has to be, it's voluntary. Sometimes you even do it on your own without even being pushed by someone, or someone is not going to be paid to be your mentor. So it's voluntary. Then we also have, in coaching, there is training and upskilling. But in mentorship, it's more of advice and guidance. And then number 4, the coach drives the sessions always. And the difference is that in mentorship, it is the mentee who drives the sessions. You are the one who likes someone. You are the one who chose someone as the role model. You are the one who has identified someone as your mentor. So in a case where there is an individual mentorship, it is more of you are the one who's steering the relationship. Then we also have personal experience. Now, the coach does not necessarily discuss personal experience with the coachee. It is professional. They have studied, they have the skills, so they present. But mentors, at some point, they even share their personal experience. Like you see your mentee is giving up, failing, until you even give an example that there is also a time I suffered loss and I was going to leave my career and even change. But then there's a way I picked myself up. So in this way, you are sharing your personal experience so that you can motivate the mentee. And then quickly we look at the characteristics of a good coach and mentor. A good listener, that is for both.
Yes.
Has track record of proven success, understands the industry, has skills that the coachee or the mentee doesn't have, and then has capable of delivering tough love, has enough time to spend, shares similar values, not a free worker, has a long Rolodex. So another potential benefit of a business mentor is access to an extended network of relevant business contacts. That is what I mean when I say that has a long Rolodex. Like you are the coachee, you are the mentor, then you should also be able to connect you are the coach and you are the mentor. You should be able to connect even your coachees and your mentees to a network of your profession or the skills that you have. Then we have, what time do you require a coach? You know, at some point as a leader, manager, you are not able to really decide now, do I need a coach or I need a mentor? You need a coach to develop raw talent with a specific new skill. You just have new employees. You need a coach to guide them. And then we can now have, who's going to read for us very fast? Queen. Number 2.
Axel has not read in a long while.
Okay.
Axel,
Okay, let me read.
Okay.
So, when to use a coach?
Yes.
The first
Point
point.
2.
Point 2.
Yes.
Okay. Enhance the experienced professional with a new or refreshed skill.
Continue.
Continue up to number 7.
Okay. Third point, help individuals who are not meeting expectations or goals. Point number 4, assist leaders in coping with large-scale change through a merger or acquisition, like managing new blended work teams and adapting to the merging of company cultures. Point number 5, prepare a professional for advancements in the organization. Point number 6, improve behavior in a short period of time, like coaching an executive to address the media on a specific topic. Point number 7, work one-on-one with leaders who prefer working with a coach rather than attending public training programs.
Okay, thank you. Now, next we'll have who? John reading to us when we need a mentor. When do we need a mentor?
Yes, John is not around.
Okay, now
He had stepped out.
Axel, you can continue.
We are short of. Okay.
When do we need a mentor?
First point, motivate talented professionals to focus on their career life development. The second reason, inspire individuals to see what is possible in their career or life. Third reason, enhance the professional's leadership development. Fourth reason, transfer knowledge from senior to junior professionals. Fifth reason, broaden intercultural or cross-cultural ties within the organization. Reason number 6, use the mentoring process as an entree to succession plan.
All right, that is very good. So these are the occasions when we need mentors, like motivation, inspiration, and professional leadership development, plus the others. Now, kindly, Purity, I don't know because of time, because we took longer time in the discussion.
Okay.
I don't know whether we should, as we get on to our next break, I'm just requesting if instead of the break, we do the short video.
All right. That's okay.
Clip.
Yes.
And we agree because we are going to let now our team free faster instead of going for a break, so that we only do the video, and after the video, I just proceed. Is it okay, Purity?
Yeah, that's perfect.
All right. So now I'll get to somewhere where I'll share the video. Then let's look at the coaching and mentoring skills. Now,
Sorry, Esther. After this is when we are doing the video?
no, shortly, I'll alert you after like 5 minutes from now.
All right, no problem.
Now, I was just requesting before time, because that is the time we were going to go for our second break. So instead of going for the break, I just do the video clip and then proceed for the sake of time.
All
right, thank you, Purity. So now next we are looking at the coaching and mentoring skills. Now the skills that you should have as a coach is you should be able to identify goals and current reality. You should know how to listen actively. No, when you are listening, you don't talk, you just listen. Communication skills, rapport building skills. Rapport, I mean, there's a way you befriend someone first before you can even discuss the real business. And then we have the developing and instructing skills, encouraging, questioning, ability to question them. You can't be a coach or a coachee if you don't have those skills. You should be able to question. You should be able to give feedback. You should be able to open doors for mentors. You should be able to have the ability to manage risks. Now, general coaching and mentoring skills in building relationships. Before, I've just talked about skills for the coach and the coachee or mentor and mentee. In this way, these are the skills that are generally used. But next, I'm looking at when now you are in a coaching relationship. You are just there with your coach or you're in a session with your mentor. Which are the general skills that you need? Trust and respect, ability to have trust and respect, facilitate understanding, create effective coaching and mentoring process, motivation, positive feedback, goal setting skills, stimulate action, let your coaching or your mentorship program not be just flat, have new perspectives, have a variety of approaches or solutions or styles of doing things between the two of you, a mentor and a mentee, or a coach and a coachee. Then we should also have significant changes in thoughts and behavior and be ready to also identify the value in the situation. So this is a mandatory for the coaching and mentoring to take place. Then we have the critical skills also. Those are just extra skills: learning, knowledge application, more learning, use of materials, integration of new things, informed risks, go beyond your mentors, what they suggest. So question and come up with ideas, keep agreements. If you agree that you are going to meet this time, please come for at that time, whether you're meeting with your mentor or your coachee or your coach. Complete agreed upon tasks, report back, give results, explain in advance if you want to change or break an agreement. That one is also required, very, very important. So which are the competencies in mentoring relationships? Please adhere to the rules, ethical rules, the agreement, trustworthy, be vigilant, listening, communication, look, focus, or address the needs. Now go back to be focused on the goals. Do not deviate from the goals. That is where we said that sometimes it may lead to what we call dual relationship. Sometimes it may lead to dual relationship, whereby if you go beyond or away from the goals. And then facilitate the trainees' progress. Make sure that your trainees are progressing. Now we reach a point where we are supposed to look at that clip, the video. Now quotes. Next, now who was going to read for us the quote?
Let me read.
Okay.
Lydia looks tired.
I was almost mentioning her again. Yeah.
Okay,
Friday, it's a Friday and it's very cold in Kigali, so we can't wait to get home.
Shortly. So from Benjamin Franklin, tell me and I forget, teach me and I remember, involve me and I learn. I think that's very true.
I know.
Yeah.
Not I remember.
This is Benjamin Franklin, who's a renowned American psychologist. He was a politician, scientist. Yes.
He was
So
also president, right?
Patrick wants to say hello here.
Hi, Patrick.
He's becoming free only now.
Welcome, Patrick.
You're so late. You're so late from the class. You will not get a certificate.
I was missing you, all of you. I just want to say hi.
Hi.
Imagine.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes, Esther.
Yes, I'm trying to see. I'm trying to check.
Lydia, you don't give people coffee in your office?
Good question.
Is it
Budget for this month? We overbuy them coffee. Our budget is out for October.
Oh, really?
Yes.
But it's the last day. Or you
They should use their salary today.
so they go drink coffee after work.
Let them go drink anything. They have been paid.
You don't want to hold a cocktail in the office.
Oh no.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's go to the video then.
The terms mentor and coach interchangeably, but they
Are
really
you
are
seeing
two
my
different
screen?
concepts.
Yes, we can see it.
While they share some concepts in common,
Purity?
they also have many elements that
Yes, you can see
differentiate
my
them from one
video.
another. Organizations that are looking at enhancing employee engagement will need to be clear on whether the worker could benefit more
Yes,
from
Purity?
mentorship or
Start
coaching.
afresh.
Depending on the challenges or
Okay.
goals for the employee,
Let me
a coach may be the
start.
best fit. We'll use the terms mentor and coach interchange.
Okay. So you can see my screen with a video.
Yes. Are you able to increase the volume just a bit?
Okay, I will. Let me see. Yes, it's at maximum.
All right.
Many use the terms mentor and coach interchangeably, but they really are two different concepts. While they share some concepts in common, they also have many elements that differentiate them from one another. Organizations that are looking at enhancing employee engagement will need to be clear on whether the worker could benefit more from mentorship or coaching. Depending on the challenges or goals for the employee, a coach may be the best fit while other situations are better handled by a mentorship program. Some of the key differences include the intent of the relationship, the length of time the participants are involved with each other, and the role of leadership. Both mentorship programs and coaching are well used around workplaces, but often they have different goals and procedures. In addition, there are times when mentors and coaches may seem to use the same approach, but they often have very different goals in mind when it comes to employee development. Mentor versus coach. Mentoring has been around in the workforce for a long time, but coaching is a fairly new concept. They are not unrelated, yet there are some important contrasts between each role. Traditionally, a mentor was someone senior in the company who had lots of life experience in addition to company knowledge. They were often there to help onboard new hires or pass along wisdom to those who will fill their position when they retire. A coach has been someone with specific knowledge about the skill or ability the employee struggles to master. They are often from outside the company and their guidance never stretches beyond helping the worker develop the skill. Essentially, a coach is there to help an employee overcome a challenge in their career. When that has been achieved, both move on. Coaching is a partnership that helps the individual work out what they need to do themselves to improve and, in the process, what motivates them and what gets in their way: attitudes, prejudices, preconceptions, assumptions, according to the Association for Project Management. In contrast, a mentor relationship can be ongoing. A mentee usually feels a connection to their mentor, unlike that of a coach. The mentor is seen as someone they can always seek out for advice and guidance, even if they do not meet on a regular basis. Organizational management or leadership have a bigger role in coaching situations than they do in mentoring. With coaching, supervisors are more involved because they measure the employee's performance and will be tracking the skills that need to be developed. A mentorship program is often
Esther, I think you have muted yourself. Esther?
I cannot say.
Let me try to call her.
Yes, it's okay.
Place is more action-based.
Sorry.
It looks at what challenge needs to be
You can hear
overcome,
now?
develops a
Let's
strategy
go back a
Yes,
bit.
yes, we can hear.
as both parties move on from the relationship. Differences between coaching and mentoring. Here are a few of the differences between coaching and mentoring.
Is it clear? A bit
Mentorship is
clear
about
now?
relationships. Coaching is
Okay.
about task completion. Often a coach will be called upon to help an individual learn a new skill, such as public speaking. They are often there to encourage and train. In contrast, mentorship is not about achieving a specific goal but rather about creating a nurturing relationship between the mentor and mentee. Workplace mentoring programs often encompass more than skill development. It is more about overall professional guidance. Mentoring takes time. Coaching is often short-term. Basically, coaches are only there for as long as they are needed. Once the individual or employee starts to master the skill, they are no longer in need of a coach. However, in mentorship, there is a longer time commitment involved. Because it is based on relationship and trust building, mentorships tend to take up to a year to fully meet expectations. Mentoring is about development while coaching is about performance. Coaching revolves around the employee learning a new skill. The success of a coach relies on whether or not the individual becomes better at the job. Alternatively, mentoring is about developing the potential in an employee. This has more wide-reaching impact. It is not just about helping the mentee perform better in their role with the company. Instead, it is about their future career path. A good mentoring program seeks to direct and guide the employee, setting them on the path to success over the long term. Mentoring is a casual experience. Coaching is more structured. Mentoring takes place in a more casual, relaxed setting. Both parties are working at understanding each other and building trust. Coaching can be more structured and formal. These can include workshop-like experiences or additional training classes. When to coach. Coaching is needed when a company is looking to sharpen a specific skill of the employee. When employees are falling short of job expectations. A new procedure or system is being implemented. If a group of employees needs to become more competent in a certain area. When to mentor. Mentoring is needed when employers are looking to help workers develop leadership potential. Succession planning. Help promote diversity in the workplace. A well-rounded development experience that allows employees to grow both as a worker and a person.
All right, I think we come to the end of that video. Thank you, Esther, for that. Very insightful.
So this is actually a summary of what I've been going through, and you see it is just a repetition, and in this way you learn that there is a great relationship between mentoring and coaching. So quickly, I'll want to try to wind up by going to some two parts. Am I sharing my screen?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. Let me share afresh. So next, we are actually looking at the, to wind up, we are looking at the benefits. The benefits of coaches, mentees, and employees. To coaches, mentees, and employees. What are the benefits of this? There are so many. Number one is onboarding, helping the new employees to just get to workplace and understand. Number two, employee satisfaction. Where there is coaching, where there is mentorship, the employees will be satisfied. They'll not feel like they're left out. employee retention. We don't want a place whereby people are just coming in and they're going out because they don't understand the exact requirements. Employee productivity, production increases, career growth, force planning, especially what we call succession planning. If there's your leader, the leader is likely to leave, should have left behind someone who can carry on with the tasks and the kind of job that they do. Knowledge management, we have to have a bank of knowledge in a data bank of knowledge in our organization. Don't leave the knowledge, people to quit with knowledge. There's retention also. Quality, you expect quality, whereas there's all this training of coaches and mentors. Synergy, it's teamwork. Then we have reduction of frustration. We also have achievement of goals. Participants are engaged. And then we have it's a safe place to gain perspective of level of learning. We also have building personal awareness and confidence. I talked about that one. Increasing confidence, communication improves, aspiration and exposure, then motivation, and also career progress. Yes? Yes, Lydia? We are together? I've been trying to go through the benefits of coaching and actually the benefits of mentorship or mentoring. Then what are the benefits to the employers? So to the employer, which is the company, there is improvement of the company culture. Like we have a culture of learning that will be passed on from one generation to another. Connection through networking and stress reduction in at workplace. So if stress is reduced, then we expect maximum production. The mentor also benefits. They benefit in a way that they take also pride in their mentees, especially when they succeed. And number two, sometimes also mentors learn from their mentees. Think of this mentor who's old in terms of age and even experience, but then is not technologically advanced, may get a mentor, a mentee who will also assist in a way, so they also benefit. Now, lastly, our last part, we are looking at the challenges of coaching and mentoring that may be experienced at an organization. Number one is motivated mentors. Sometimes the mentors, especially when they are within the organization, they may not be motivated. They feel like they are being forced to be attached to their attachees who are mentees. So in this way, there will be no benefit in terms of learning. Goal setting for mentees. What are the goals? Are they aligned to the organizational goals? And then we also have effective matching. That is the quiz that we did. There may be wrong matching or wrong pairing, whereby at the end of the relationship, no learning occurs. And then there's also the challenge of open feedback, especially when the mentoring or the mentors are coming from the organization or they're your bosses. Sometimes you want to give openly feedback which can help the organization, but then you realize, oh, no, I don't want to sacrifice myself, you fear. We also have structure. Some mentorship programs or coaching programs do not have structure, so it becomes a challenge. We also have the problem of tracking outcomes. Want to know whether it was productive, what is the feedback. In case there is no people who are openly giving feedback, especially the mentees, then outcome tracking will be a challenge. The challenges are many, especially during the relationship. Meeting at the right time, it's a problem. Commitment and realistic expectations. Sometimes you want your mentor or to be like your God, or you want your mentee to be exactly like, do the things that you do. That is an unrealistic expectation, and that's a challenge. We also have overdependence. You want your mentor to decide for you everything, or the coach. It becomes a challenge. There's also unfair manipulation on the part of the mentor or mentoree. So you really want your mentoree to do everything, including the work, or your coachee, because you have been coaching them, even at workplace. That is wrong. There's also resentment or jealousy from others. You may have picked a group who are to be mentored. Others, because of resources, were not selected. Now, sometimes they are so negative. They give negative comments about even the program. They even say it failed. Some of your managers may also let you down. Also have pairing. I talked about it. It may be a challenge. You may pair wrongly. Instead of having a coach and a coachee or mentor and mentee, you end up having a husband and wife. Will that be wrong? Yes.
I think so.
Or a boyfriend and girlfriend. Now, to conclude, because time is not on our side, mentorship or coaching program, when it takes place, it shows that the company cares a lot. In this way, we are going to have a more engaged workforce, and this leads to high job satisfaction. Greater job satisfaction leads to a more positive work environment. A positive work environment creates less employee turnover, and workers feel a great sense of loyalty to their company. Mentors are leaders. Leaders don't produce followers. They create additional leaders. Actually, that's a quote by Oprah Winfrey. Mentors, leaders don't produce followers. They create additional leaders. Now, we are tending to the end of our session. Purity, I may say back to you, but I want to first of all know whether there is a question or a comment from our team today. It has been a good learning experience. Lydia, I'm on your neck. Axel?
Can you hear us? I think you're muted.
Yeah, something went wrong.
Oh, sorry, but I hope you could hear us.
No, it jumped somewhere on the way.
Oh, sorry
Esther,
for that.
What was Esther asking?
Like we've come to the end of today's session. If there are any questions?
No, not from me. Actually, I've learned a lot because I ideally didn't differentiate between coaching and mentorship.
Yes.
I could hardly differentiate the two, but now at least I can tell. Yes, and I take the pleasure to thank her so much.
That's amazing. That's very good feedback. John, anything you have to say or question?
Just to appreciate for this good session.
All right. I hope you leave here having learned something.
Sure.
Queen?
All right.
Yes.
Queen?
I think for me too, it's yes. You can hear.
You're breaking a lot.
Hello.
Hello.
Challenge. You're breaking.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Much better.
Yes, Queen.
Yes, I was saying training was differentiating, like Lydia said, mentoring and coaching, because it was kind of they were kind of similar. So the training was also very me moving forward if I can apply some few things, the application, yeah.
So
Yes. Purity next. Who has not spoken?
It's Axel.
Yeah, it's me.
Yeah, Axel.
Sweet as everyone, I appreciate for this session. Thank you, Esther. And also, what Lydia said is true. I couldn't differentiate between a mentor and the coach.
Yeah.
Now you are on the no.
Now I know. I won't be
All right.
confused anymore. Thank you very
Okay.
much.
I thank you very much. I think if none of us have been mentoring any people, I think take this as a challenge to start mentoring, also start coaching, because coaching and mentoring is very effective at the workplace, and that is the truth. And coaching and mentoring is not as expensive if you compare it to a formal training. So being the leaders, just use the skills you've picked up from today in terms of coaching and mentoring, and take it back to your organization. Mentor those supervisors, team leaders, just mentor them or even coach them. I think you'll have a better organization. I think I'll read this quote by Esther Kirebi. Okay, which is our parting shot for this evening. In addition to coaching and mentorship, appropriate counseling programs should be put in place in order to take care of all counseling needs for all your employees. I totally agree with that. Like coaching and mentorship just doesn't end at that point. We need to just take a step further into counseling, because some things I think go beyond coaching and mentorship. Is that what you meant by this, Esther?
Yes, you are very right. Purity. And it's actually a recommendation I gave after my research in 2011. I realized from the research that counseling actually is required in every organization. Thank you, Purity. Back to you.
All right, I think that is it. I will let Kigali team go catch a drink.
They're going to look for mentors.
And go look for mentors.
Yes, for sure.
And coaches.
Bye-bye. Good night. Nice
It
weekend.
seems like you're in
You
the
too.
dark. What's
Enjoy your
happening?
weekend. Let's meet
Bye.
next week. I
Bye.
think we have a session on Tuesday and Thursday of next week. I'm sending the feedback form.
Right.
All right.
Lydia and Queen have been very diligent in filling the feedback form. The others, not very.
The others. By this weekend, we'll be done
I'll
for
mark
everything.
that for their performance review.
Yes.
Yeah, we are going to correct ourselves.
So just make sure you fill the feedback.
Okay.
You were saying something?
All right.
No, it's okay. Nothing.
All right. I see you next week. Enjoy your weekend.
Bye bye to everyone.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Asante, Esther. Bye bye.
Very wonderful.
Okay. Bye.
All right. Bye bye.